All right, let's just jump right in. You know, some writing breaks the rules, but the text we're diving into today, it's like it comes from a whole other reality where rules just weren't a thing. We're about to explore something so dense, so chaotic, it basically forces you to ask, what even is a book? So the text just throws you in. No warning, no context. You get fragments like this. Código Bolero. Bolero code? What is that? It's like you've stumbled on a password, but you have no idea what system it unlocks.
And they just keep coming, these little fragments. Bonitinho busta OG tardy night, which, translates to something like pretty boy shit today afternoon night. It's kind of poetic, right? But also super aggressive, and the grammar is, well, it's creative. The confusion just keeps piling up. You really get the sense you're tapped into a raw feed, straight from a mind that's just boiling over.
Okay, so just when you think you're maybe getting the hang of this weird poetry, the text just wallops you with this. It's a sentence that's so jarring, it just stops you in your tracks. You've got the broken grammar, the sudden violence, and this absolute certainty behind it all. It's a lot to take in. This isn't just unconventional anymore. Honestly, it feels kind of dangerous. And that really gets us to the core question here, right? When you're faced with something like this, what do? Do you just write it off as nonsense? Or do you start looking for a key, some kind of method to unlock what's going on inside? What if the chaos is the point? Well, luckily for us, we don't have to navigate this bizarre universe all by ourselves. Get this. It turns out this massive, seemingly unreadable manuscript was actually submitted to a publisher. And they analyzed it. I'm not kidding. They took it seriously.
This quote here, it's from the editorial board of IP das Letras. That's the publishing house that got the manuscript. And instead of just tossing it in the bin, they created this really formal, in-depth critique. Their goal, they said, was to add value and help. So, you see, this wasn't a rejection letter. It was a genuine attempt to understand this thing on its own terms.
So this critique, it basically becomes our Rosetta Stone. It's our map. It gives us a framework, a set of coordinates, to start charting this wild world created by the author Marcos Magallanes Duarte. We'll call him MMD. It's the key that helps us start seeing the patterns inside all that noise. Okay, so map in hand, let's do this. It's time to step inside the MMD universe. We're going to use what the critics found to break down its core parts. Think about it. On one side, you've got normal writing, right? It's linear, it has chapters, a clear story. Then there's MMD. The critics didn't even call his work a book. They called it a textual collage or a database. They said it was this flow of consciousness that was deliberately trying to smash all the old rules. And here's the thing you've got to get. The chaos is on purpose. It's deliberate. The analysis says MMD's work is this fragmented mix of lists, rants, and these really strange philosophical formulas. And the only thing holding it all together is this obsessive repetition of certain key words: image, thought, code. They're like these little anchors in a hurricane of text. So when you boil it all down, the text is really about a fight, a battle. The author, MMD, he sees himself as the keeper of this pure, original image. And he's convinced that all these big, powerful forces, we're talking science, religion, even the government, are all trying to steal it or copy it or mess it up. That single conflict is basically the engine for the entire manuscript.
And this is how he fights back. It's brilliant, really. He uses language as his weapon. The critics called his style performative and oral, like you're listening to a spoken word manifesto. It's jam-packed with made-up words, busted syntax, all of it designed to make you feel like you're inside a mind in ébullition, a mind that's literally boiling over.
Okay, now we get to some of the most fascinating stuff, the actual artifacts from this universe. Because it's not just about style and themes. MMD actually created a concrete system of rules for his world. And he made a very, very specific list of who his enemies are. In the manuscript, there's this list of exactly 70 rules.
He calls them the MMD formulas. And these aren't just random ideas, no. They're presented like they're some kind of mystical operating system for reality itself. And here are just a few of them to give you a taste. They start out kind of abstract, imagine the light. Then they get more practical, connect the thought to the image. But then they just escalate really quickly to things like telepathy and invisibility. It's this wild mix of self-help, computer programming, and, I don't know, psychic warfare. So who is this whole system for? Who's he fighting? Well, the text gives us a list of his accused conspirators. And it includes some heavy hitters, like NASA and even God. But it also includes the population, like everyone. Then it gets super personal with these incredible insults, like the spat out little bug, and yeah, we see it again, the pretty boy shit. And just so you understand the sheer scale of this fight he's in, listen to this direct quote. The author accuses God himself of cooking up a conspiracy because he was jealous of the author's original image. And so he concludes, I consider God guilty. I mean, the personal stakes in this thing are literally cosmic. So what do we do with all of this? Is this a manifesto, a diary, a symptom of something? The critic's analysis actually gives us a really profound way to look at the whole project. It frames it not as a failure to communicate, but as a completely different kind of success. What the critics suggest is that we should see the text as a map, a cartography of the mind. It's not meant to be a straightforward story for you and me to read. It's a super detailed, obsessive diagram of one person's inner world, a reality where he's the only one protecting something sacred and literally everyone else is a threat. And this, I think, is the most powerful takeaway from all of this. In the end, the critics concluded that the text's real value is as an act of defiance, just the act of creating this dense, private, aggressive universe. That in itself is a powerful testimony of creative potency as a form of resistance. He's fighting back against a world that he sees as hostile by building a brand new one from the ground up. Which leaves us with one last really fascinating question to chew on. Where exactly is the line between a broken mind and a groundbreaking text? Because by building a universe that so completely rejects our own, Marquis Magalhaes Duarte kind of forces us to question everything, what art is, what sanity is, and what it even means to create something new.